All right, welcome back. Continuing our, series book club on working through Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. So we're on book 2.4. This time we went through the first 2.1 through 3 last week. And now we're going to start on 2.4, and we're going to go to 7. So I'll start out by reading. Go ahead,
I
Matt.
told you prior to recording, this is not a book club.
This is a book club. I'm gonna run with it.
All right, book club it is.
Against Dalton's will, this is a book club. All right, let's start out with 2.4 here. That a limit of time is fixed for thee, which if thou dost not use for clearing away the clouds from thy mind, it will go, and thou wilt go, and it will never return.
Yeah, so it's pretty clear it's talking about procrastination here. So instead of living with a procrastination type of mind, right here, Marcus is urging us to recognize the finite nature of life and the need to align with a rational mindset or order of the universe before time runs out. And so kind of the whole idea here is that life is short. You must act now to live in accordance with reason and virtue, as opportunities granted by fate or God's plan are limited. And so there's only so much that you can do in this life, so you have to live it as it comes and have to take opportunity. So it embodies the thought Memento Mori, which a lot of people are familiar with. Remember that one day you must die. Stoicism emphasizes awareness of mortality to prioritize what truly matters, virtue and rational action over distractions. And then the universe is governed by a rational order, and humans as a part of it, we have to align our actions with this universal reason. So amor fati, love of fate, accepting the time allotted by the creator without resistance fuels purposeful living. And so when you finally come to acknowledge that you're here on a purpose, that's when you really need to start allotting your time and your devotion to what comes your way and how to make the most of it. And so prioritize today. Don't delay personal growth, meaningful goals. Set daily intentions to act with integrity. Best time to do that is in the morning when you start your day. Set your daily intentions. Tackle a long avoided task or practice patience in a challenging situation. Be mindful of your time management throughout your day. Just some things that you can put right at the beginning of the day. And as long as you start it that way each and every day and continue consistently, you'll start to get better and better at this. Reflect nightly on how you spent your day. Ask yourself at the end of the day, did I use my time to grow or waste it on trivialities or just things that aren't going to matter in the end? Accept your limits. Recognize you can't control time's length, but can control its quality. So focus on what's in your control rather than external outcomes or things that are outside of your control. Which you actually did a post this week about procrastination. I forget what it said, but it was a good quote. Something about waiting for clarity is procrastination in disguise, I think is what you quoted.
Right.
Which is I think that's a really good quote. So
yeah, and clarity comes through action, and that's been my experience. I'm not writing things that I haven't experienced before. So, yeah, I actually have the Amor Fati tattoo. Memento Mori is going to be my next one. I'm going to have that one done somewhere as well on my arm. But yeah, when I ride a motorcycle, right, and so the Memento Mori line goes through my mind every night prior to getting on that bike and going for over an hour and 20-minute ride. Like it's one of those like more dangerous modes of transportation. So it's like, did I live this day well, right? Is there anything that I'm leaving on the table? Was I not present in relationships? Was I not doing everything I could in that day? So it's a simple reminder for me, the Memento Mori, prior to going out and going on a ride, because you kind of have to be like, okay, there could be someone that pulls out in front of me that they don't know I'm there. And it could be my fault, could be theirs, whatever. It's not the point, but like, it's more dangerous for sure. And And so I try to like think through that. And but you don't have to ride a motorcycle to have those have that thought, right? So yeah, but that's one of the things that, for me lately is like realizing that like life is actually just very short, and so why live it a limited, why live a limited existence? So moving on to book 2.5, he writes, every moment think steadily as a Roman and a man, to do what thou hast in hand with perfect and simple dignity, and feeling of affection and freedom and justice, and to give thyself relief from all other thoughts, and thou wilt give thyself relief if thou dost every act of thy life as if it were the last, laying aside all carelessness and passionate aversion from the commands of reason, and all hypocrisy and self-love, and discontent with the portion which has been given to thee. Thou seest how few the things are, and which if a man lays hold of it, he is able to live a life which flows in quiet, and is like the existence of the gods, for the gods on their part will require nothing more from him who observes these things.
So the thought here, Marcus is urging himself to focus on the present task with dignity, empathy, reason. He's performing each action as if it was his last action. So he frees himself from irrational impulses or ego. So the core idea here is to live fully in the present moment. And I know that we're going to keep kind of revisiting this over and over again, but it's something that he revisits over and over again. And we look at Marcus Aurelius and his accomplishment, from long ago, and his name still exists to this day. So maybe what he has to say is worth repeating over and over again. So living fully in the present moment, treating each action as the opportunity to embody virtue, untainted by distraction or selfish motives. And so the Stoic thought here is present moment awareness. So value focusing on the now, since the past is gone and the future is uncertain. Concentrate only on what you can control, your intentions and actions, while letting go of external results. Acting with justice, wisdom, courage, and temperance is the path to flourishing regardless of outcomes. And so the application here, single task, focus when working, eliminate distractions, sometimes can be hard to do. Approach the task with full attention. It's living in the now, as it defines your character. So act with intention before responding in a heated moment. Pause and ask, is my response kind, rational, aligned with my values? Treat routine interactions, a conversation with a colleague, as if they're your final chance to show empathy or integrity, enhancing their quality, which I know at times that can be very difficult. But yeah, we're going to keep revisiting that same exact thought, is living in the present moment.
Yeah, it's a common theme among like Stoic philosophy is like you don't own your past because you can't go back and change it. You don't own your future because it's undecided. All you can do is what you can do now, and that doesn't mean don't plan for the future and don't act accordingly for the future, but have it in your mind that all you can do is the best you can do in the moment, and if that's all you do, then the future takes care of itself, right? So moving on to book 2.6, do wrong to thyself, do wrong to thyself, my soul, thou wilt no longer have the opportunity of honoring thyself. Every man's life is sufficient, but thine is nearly finished. Though thy soul reverences not itself, but places thy felicity in the souls of others.
So this refers right back to point 4 a little bit that we started with. He's encouraging frequent reflection on death to eliminate negative emotions, arrogance, and distractions, using mortality as a reminder to live purposefully. Um, Nobody knows when their last minute's going to be spent. Absolutely nobody. Plane could come out of the sky, boom, wreck into this house. I'm dead. I'm gone. You never know. And so contemplating death can clarify priorities. So stripping away trivial concerns and fostering humility, you're a speck on this earth, can bring gratitude and focus on the present. So we visit this thought again, Memento Mori. Regular meditation on death reduces fear of it and sharpens focus on living well now. One of the key ways to there's a lot of people that's like, I don't fear death. There's a lot of people that do that. Mostly people that ride motorcycles. No shots
I
taken.
think it's a
No.
respect for it, but yeah,
It's a
it
respect.
is a
It
very
is.
constant theme among people that I've spoken to and just listened to.
Yeah, some people ride it because like there's groups of people out there that ride it for, they ride respectfully, and then there's people out there that ride recklessly because they don't care about their life. And so, but and there's people that drive that way too. But regular meditation on death should reduce fear of it and sharp focus on living well now. And so that's kind of the key goal, is just to have a respect for it. That your time is limited, and you're not the creator. You're not the official person at the end that gets to decide when you die. Another person decides that. So, or life itself, nature will decide that. So be present. Uh,
And it's not
Imagining
something to
loss.
be
Oh, yeah.
necessarily it's not necessarily something to be like the line Memento Mori. I know it can be given in a negative context of, oh, that's depressing, but that's really not the intention behind the thought.
Yeah, it's not. When you say meditation on death, I'm not saying think about, oh, I could die to oh. I should be constantly fearing, in a sense of like worry, not in a content sense of worry, but just in a mindfulness of, you don't know how long you're going to be here, and
It's like
so
not a fear of death, but more of a respect for life.
respect for life. Yep, respect for life. That you're not in control, but you're in control of what you can do now, and so, but you're not in control of when you're going to die. It's one thing that is outside of your control. So, negative visualization. I'm gonna butcher this, but premeditatio malorum, imagining loss or mortality, prepares the mind to accept life's impermanence and reduces attachment to fleeting things. Um, I, I I would say I actually practice this one quite often. Um, it's it's kind of a weird one for me. Still haven't quite figured it out. But when I do, I'll let you know. But negative visualization is a difficult thing to do every day. Perspective on passions, emotions like anger or pride are irrational when viewed against life's brevity and the universe's vastness. So the application here amongst all this is, a good daily reflection. Spend 5 minutes each morning visualizing your mortality to reset priorities, to realize that, have a respect for life, for the life that you have. Be appreciative for it. Ask, if today were my last, what would I focus on? What should I focus on? Let go of grudges. When upset, remind yourself life is too short for resentment. Choose forgiveness or detachment to maintain your peace, and to not get, caught up in pointless frustration. Simplify goals. Use the thoughts of uh, death, or in this sentence, of having respect for life, to filter out superficial pursuits, um, chasing likes, some bad ideas, chasing likes on social media, invest in meaningful ones, relationships, self improvement, focus on those things. And so that's basically the thought for his six right here. The meditation by Marcus Aurelius, 2.6.
So if we move on to 2.7, he says, do the things external which fall upon thee distract thee. Let me reread that. Do the things external which fall upon thee distract thee, as a question. Give thyself time to learn something new and good, and cease to be whirled around. But then thou must also avoid being carried about the other way, for those too are triflers, who have wearied themselves in life by their activity, and yet have no object to which to direct every moment, and in a word, all their thoughts.
So Marcus instructs himself to act only according to reason, personal judgment, and the common good, finding sufficiency in a life aligned with these principles. So the core thought here: a fulfilling life requires only rational, virtuous actions that serve both personal integrity and the broader community. And by the way, these are lifestyles that also go hand in hand with biblical lifestyles. So you want to do what's best for your both personal integrity and the broader community around you. Reason as a guide. Stoics believe humans are distinguished by their capacity for rational thought, which should govern all actions. Majority of the time, as long as you have a good foundation for reasoning, this will help you out 99% of the time. Justice and common good. Virtue includes acting for the benefit of others, as humans are inherently social and interconnected. Sufficiency of virtue. External goods, wealth, fame are indifferent. A good life depends solely on virtuous character. That's going to be a hard one for some people to grasp. Application. Rational decision making before acting. Pause to evaluate. So many people don't do this. We live in a world that wants to completely remove away your rational decision making, so that you can make the decision based off what they want you to do. So, is this choice logical, ethical, and beneficial to others? For example, weigh pros and cons before a major purchase, um, or before you make a decision. Serving others, incorporate small acts of kindness daily, helping a coworker or volunteering to align with the common good. I think that this kind of goes along with pet a cat. um, Contentment practice. When feeling dissatisfied, list 3 things you've done virtuously today. Stay calm under pressure, to reinforce that these are enough for a good life. Don't get caught up in thinking that you have to be the most important person in the world to know that you're living an important life. I guess is kind of the thought there. But anyways,
Yeah, I think the common theme for this segment of the book is definitely Memento Mori, Amor Fati. They're not, like we said, they're not meant to be something to fear. You know, you're not supposed to live a fearful life because of these things, but it's a good reminder to respect the current life that you have, and then live in accordance to that. So
yeah, it's also good to note that who we're talking about here, Marcus Aurelius, is a Roman leader. And so you have to remember, from his mindset as to what he's looking at from his perspective, and then to put yourself in that same shoes to understand a little bit of how you can live a better life in that sense. So,
yeah, and it's also good to note that, like, because life goes on until it doesn't, like, do the work in the present moment, but don't let it be, oh, if I were to die tomorrow, why do the work today, right? Like, it's a very intentional sort of living, and I think it requires a lot of presence in the moment.
I think it requires a purpose too. Some people create their own purpose, and that's good. That's good to create your own purpose as far as degree of just having a goal that you're aiming towards. But then understanding also the creator's purpose for you will help you to each and every day continue on, because you have a purpose that's going to go on for eternity. It's not just going to end. A purpose that ends and becomes in existence. What was the purpose of it? What eternal meaning did it have? So for you to have an eternal meaning, obviously you should get connected with the creator of the world, because at the end of the day, he's going to be eternal forever. So that would be the purpose that I would push people towards, is finding your creator and starting a relationship with him.
Yeah, it's good. Well, I enjoyed this section, dude. It's a lot of good reminders, and I look forward to diving into the next one. So.